The PMP held its NEC meeting over the weekend of January, I believe, 26th. Yeah, they held the NEC meeting in St. Mary. The NEC meeting was a dual thing, the NEC meeting and then the presentation of young Omar Woodbine as a candidate for the PMP going up against Bobby Montague. Now, Bobby has some issues, but I don't know if Woodbine can carry it because he have bigger issues than Bobby does. But there was a presentation. At the NEC, they invited PJ. Yeah, man. They invited Percival Noel James, and he went. PJ must realize by now that these people only call on him when they feel like they are in a little bit of dump and they need a little boost, a little lift. So they call on him. And the only place that he would show up apart from annual conference is an NEC meeting. It's the only quote unquote prestigious place that he would show up because, PJ don't go in there everywhere. And PJ not out there campaigning. And I understand that at the NEC, PJ said a couple of things. Oh, by the way, somebody said to me, say, trust me, Karen, PJ named Aki. And she was very, up there and enthusiastic that PJ came. And it goes without saying that once PJ shows up, it gives the thing a little bit of lift. It does. And it makes people a little bit more, in tune. After the NEC meeting ended, the man who's going to run against Mr. Oldis here in West Central St. Andrew decided to pass through my ice cream shop. I haven't seen him for many, many moons. He used to pass by the ice cream shop regular before he became a candidate. Many evenings he would just stop by for chat, political chat, and then sometimes would come by just to buy ice cream and chat a little bit more. But I haven't seen him. I think I saw him once since he became the candidate. So he stopped by with with his campaign manager or former councillor for the Mullines Gardens Division, Stewie, and what's her name? Keisha Hill. The three of them. So them stopped by for ice cream and chat. Of course, me and him had a contentious chat. I don't think it ended good. I don't think he was pleased when him left the ice cream shop by what I had to say, which I will not disclose on this video. But I don't think he was pleased with what I had to say, but who gives a shit? Anyway, at the NEC, I understand that PJ was, very animated. He spoke about him being available, and he's just a phone call away. And I wanted to say, why PJ say it was just a phone call away? That mean nobody not call PJ or something? Nobody not call, nobody ask him now to come to them constituency, come address a little dinner, or nobody not calling PJ. The reason why I'm doing this short video is to say to PJ and to PJ people, so that they understand what the game is. Because PJ is a master at political gamesmanship, but him getting older, and I don't think him understand this game. I don't think he has a full understanding of it as much as he was a political genius back in his heyday. I don't think him truly understand this one. I don't think him truly understand these guys. The reason why they don't use PJ or call on him or have him, well, first of all, he would go out against Mark with him citizenship to Britain, and him talk up and go out with all kind of things and perform, and Mark never like it and them never like it because they thought that maybe PJ should have come out and defend him. But PJ knows Mark doesn't want Jamaica to move away from the monarchy, and maybe that's the only thing me and Mark agree on. And Mark don't want Jamaica to become a republic, but that is not something that I have any say in, because Jamaican people want to become a republic. And if they want to become a republic, the opposition leader is blocking that. The opposition leader is standing firmly in the doorway and saying, no, my country, Britain, must control this country, Jamaica. So him not want a republic. And I don't think PJ fully understands that. I don't think PJ fully understands Mark's role here in Jamaica as a British Secret Service agent, as a foreign agent, as a illegal alien. Well, he was a legal alien because he forgot to the passport office to get that stamp in his passport each time he travels and come back to Jamaica. He does, because his British passport him travel on. And him just lately get a Jamaican passport. A man who is the leader of the PMP, who has been a member of the PMP for less than 12 years. I mean, I don't think PJ fully understands these guys. I don't think PJ fully understands either that their use of him is going to be limited and far and in between, because they are always very conscious that should they win the election, they don't want anybody to say it was a combined effort and PJ help. They don't want that. So they will call upon him and use him whenever time they believe that they can. And he will jump to the occasion because he's a former prime minister and a former party leader. Them can't help themselves. It's part of them DNA. It's the politics. It's the adoration. It's the being involved in the thick of things. You just can't get over that. Once you were, now you are not. So every opportunity you get to show up yourself, you will. It's a human condition of men who are structured around power and having it and wielding it and using it and that kind of thing. It's a human condition for men like that. So he will show up. But PJ must understand that showing up don't mean that them in not with you. And they will use you for whatever they need to use you with. They needed that shine for the NEC meeting going into the presentation of Young Woodbine. And I would also imagine that PJ, having not been invited to anything, was glad to go. Because if I tell them that him is just a phone call away, me nobody not call him. And him there talk about him ready for campaign and him love to campaign. Him saying these things because nobody is asking him to do anything. That there's no explanation for that. But he said, but PJ is in a better shape than Peter Phillips, who they definitely don't want in the thick of things. Just in case them go win and somebody goes to see it, Peter Phillips come out there and make them win. Oh no, they will not have that. That is not tolerable. That will not be tolerated. No way, no dice. No way. So they asked Peter Phillips to go on this cult program on YouTube, and he went. He obliged to go on the cult program and go talk to dead brain people. Because most of the people on that program, them brain dead. Them not understand. Most of them wouldn't understand a thing that Peter Phillips was talking about. And what Peter Phillips spoke about, I do not know. But I'm sure it must have been brilliant, whatever it is he was saying. But nobody heard and nobody picked up on it. The mainstream media not carrying it, because the body knew not with that, the program there, which most people go for the overworking and the excitement and the rapid and the nice making and the sus and the excitement. They go for that. They go for that and they stayed for the hope that some of the little over will sprinkle on them or something will happen for them. Most of them dead brain people. I'd make no apology for it. So they sent Peter Phillips on that. They have yet to invite him to a NEC meeting. I don't know, and I can imagine their fear of inviting him to a NEC meeting and asking him to speak, because he wouldn't be sitting down and talking like PJ and talking about I'm a phone call away and I love campaigning. Pretty much sound like PJ begging to be involved. I can't read it no other way. For those of you who went tell PJ, I can't read it no other way that PJ must be desperate to be involved for him to go and say those things. I would imagine that the old PJ would have gone in there and tell them what them doing wrong and tell them what them need to do right. But PJ going there moaning and groaning and whining about him being available and a phone call away and I mean, it sounds very whiny and pleading and begging, while Peter Phillips allowed himself to be used to go on this program to talk about the economy, and I'm absolutely sure that he was brilliant in whatever it is that he was saying. But the Jamaican people, the wider society, did not have the opportunity to hear his brilliance and what he was saying about the economy. And he would have been upfront and honest, and he would have given the government their due if he believed that there was something to congratulate them on or to say positive things about what is happening in the economy. I'm sure that he would have, but nobody heard him. Nobody heard it because he was asked to go on a dead brain program, and that's where he went. And then PJ went to NEC talking about him availability and him phone calls and calling him and him love to campaign, basically telling them, so to call my man, I want to come out there, I will come. But truly, I don't know if the voting public would be enthralled by anything that PJ has to say about coming out and voting. I don't know. I don't know if even the PMP people themselves would be enthusiastic to and feel compelled to come out and hear anything that PJ has to say. Certainly, Portia, they would. But the universe has worked its magic, and this group of traitors, treacherous Judases, and wicked pedophiles and perverts, will not have the benefit of a Portia Simpson Miller out there to boost them up and prop them up. The universe, it's a sad thing, yes, it is, but the universe and the good Lord made sure that them don't have that. So them depend on them damn own, and they have to call on Percival Noel James. And occasionally they will call on Peter David Phillips to go on some dead brain program, go talk about the economy and something. Both you gentlemen need to understand that they don't need you. They do, but they don't think that they do. Because if they should actually embrace you and show you that they need you, that would tumble over everything that they have been doing and saying for the last 4 or 5, from that they have been doing from 2018, quite frankly, 2016, yes. Bunting has been doing all of this. So it will certainly render everything that they have been doing from 2016 to be null and void. And they would not be able to live with themselves knowing that you two gentlemen, astute and well dignified, and gentlemen would have helped them just in case the Jamaican people should actually elect them. They don't want that to be said. They don't want that in the echo chamber at all, to say that you were out there helping them. So they will call on you to use you, but they don't want you. They don't believe that they need you either. And as such, Peter Phillips himself would not even have anything, pardon me please, to contribute to their campaigning. What could Peter Phillips possibly go out there or say to the Jamaican people, except to relive those moments when Dayton Campbell was on platform shouting at the top of him lungs, I call Peter Phillips boy, and I tell him say him for go and him for step aside because the bogus poll say him can't win. Him can't beat Bunting and him can't beat Andrew Holness, and him for go and him for step aside and the way and the tay and make him mash it up and build it back. What could possibly get into Peter Phillips for him to want to go out there, relive that? Because the only thing him could relive, that. I don't know what all that fracas out there is about, but if you hear some background, fracas is a regular community movements. And Peter Phillips can't go out there and face that, because the memories would be too great for him to be out there on a platform, and people would laugh at him. Voters would laugh at him. Now that they know what Mark Golding and Peter Bunting and Nikisha Burchell and Dayton Campbell, what they did, now that the Jamaican public know what they did, how could Peter Phillips go out there or talk about him or campaign for nobody? And why would he be going on this dead brain program to go talk about economy on their behalf? Peter Phillips have to man up, and him have to show some spine. And yes, I know that he has forgiven them, but God has not forgiven them yet. But he has. I know that he has forgiven them, and I know him love him country, and I know him love him party. But he must understand that some things just can't be swept away by being a good person towards a bad situation. It just don't happen. Some things just don't happen that way. You don't just get up and say, yeah, they did something bad and they did something terrible, but for the sake of winning and for the sake of power, let us look past it. Some things just don't boil down to that. This is not a Hallmark movie where in the end everybody come together and everybody get what they want. No, it is not. So Peter Phillips must know and understand that that is the situation, and he can't take that on, because he's going to look stupid and people are going to laugh at him, and bloggers like myself is going to go, yeah, we're going to tell him he's an idiot, and we're going to talk up some other things as well, respectfully, because we love Peter Phillips and we stand with him. But if him go out there and start drop him out on their behalf, that not going to help them. That not going to help him. And the young people and the country that now know what they did would look at him strange and funny, because people now have information as to what took place and how they reach where they are in the control of the People's National Party. People now know that Mark Golding tried to replace the founder of the People's National Party with a scammer. And people now know that there was a WhatsApp leak where they were in there talking about them not giving us the money to that party. Not a dollar, not a red cent. Exact words of Mark Golding. People now know that they said that they could mash it up and go build it back. People now know that Dayton Camp was out there, so he must get a beating. Him will lose. He might go lose. He must get a beating. He must get a beating. People now know. The videos are there. The recordings are there. The pictures are there. The writings are there. People now know what they did. So Peter Phillips need to tread carefully in how whatever that they're asking him to do. And PJ, Percival Noel James, need to go quiet. Because I'm sure that nobody that will learn anything from him. Because nobody that will learn anything from PJ. With all due respect. No, because PJ don't understand the time in which we're living. And he don't understand the circumstances under which all of this have happened. And he just don't understand it. He don't get it. He don't fully grasp it. And maybe if he did, and maybe if he does, him probably would be on the flip side. Him probably would join them. If he was younger and healthier, he probably would. And then walk around the country talking about forgiveness and let's move on and all the rest of it. It's basically him saying to the Jamaican people and the world, wanna forgive Judas. Let's move on. He betrayed the Savior. He betrayed the Son of God. Let's forgive Judas. And maybe we should give him a seat. Yeah, and embrace him. And move on and forget it. Forget that he sold God's son for 30 pieces of silver and clutch it in his arm and then go hang himself because he couldn't stand the shame. And we must now wipe away his shame by forgiving him. We're not doing it because forgiveness would mean wiping away their shame. So we're not forgiving them. We're not moving on. It's unforgivable what they did, and they must pay for it. They must not be rewarded for it. And PJ don't understand that, and Peter Phillips to some extent, he understands some of it, but to a great extent he don't. None of them understands it because they are men of power. Power seeking, power holding, power wielding, power having. So nothing else matters in that little cluster, that little bubble of power, you know. Yeah, we can move on. We're gone now. We could do that now. And yeah, man, we could come together now and let us 99.9% of black people, let us elect this white British born man to lead us. Let us elect this man whose four parents owned 50 slaves in Jamaica. Jesus, have mercy on our souls. Jesus, have mercy on us. Let us forgive, man, and move on. But if you're going to do that, we might as well go to full Monty. Let us forgive the British. Let us forgive the Portuguese. Let us forgive the French. Let us forgive everybody. Let us forgive Columbus. Let us forgive them all that they came down here and stole and raped and beat and murder and took everything that we had and enslaved our foreparents. Let us forgive that then. And by doing that, you're asking us to shed our entire soul, our entire being, all that we are, everything that we are based on what our ancestors went through. All of that shape us, our heritage, our culture, our blood. All of that shape us. We must shed that to forgive them. And that is what you're asking us to do. Shed all of that to forgive them when they themselves are not even seeking forgiveness, which is the worst part of it. Mark Gordon look like he must seek forgiveness to you. Has he ever uttered any words out of his mouth that suggests that he's regretful of anything that he has done to bring down the People's National Party and put Jamaica in this position where it is now, where Jamaica don't have a viable opposition party or a viable opposition leader in King Charles III Parliament, fighting to make sure that we don't get that constitutional change, because he don't want to see that happen. Has anybody ever heard him sound like him seeking forgiveness? Anybody ever heard him seeking forgiveness? Not seeking no forgiveness. He's not asking for forgiveness. He's not talking about anything that he did and feel that he did anything wrong. No, in big and bossy and bad. No, me, Mark Jefferson, go in, people, go vote for me and put me in Jamaica House and get rid of this wicked and heartless government. That sound like him asking for you to forgive him for his ancestral sins. And I mean, we could say that, why you want you could ask us, are we asking everybody to ask for forgiveness for their ancestral sins? Absolutely not. Not everybody trying to be leader of our country. But if you're trying to be leader of our country, you have to talk about your ancestral sins and where you playing it right now, because him playing it out and him reliving it and him doing it in a different way. We are not in shackles anymore, but him try to shackle a man down in own constituency. Him try to show us. Well, the psychiatrist spelled it out for us in elaborate terms. This is who he is. He tried to show us, he was demonstrating to us that this is what he is. Shackles and chain and key in a pocket. Oh, Jesus. And that is what he does. So, Peter Phillips and PJ better, I don't need for us stand on here and stay put. And keep on a peace with God. Because this is bigger than Uno. Sorry to say. This is bigger than Uno. Uno do have a clue. Uno clueless. Never thought the day would come when I would say that PJ and Peter Phillips are clueless about this current political situation in the People's National Party and its leader. But they are pretty clueless about it all. And if they are not, on the off chance that they are not clueless, then we would have to now say that they are also co-conspirators then. Or they are now, are they hugging them up? So, they are part of them. We could make that conclusion too. If you're not upset about what they did, then you must be joining them and forgiving them. And Jesus have not forgiven them yet. So there you have it. And that is that. So I need to stay put, as far as I'm concerned. And stop begging to be out here. Because nobody don't really want to hear nothing from neither of the two of you, actually. Because, and it's not a disrespectful thing to say. And it's not disrespectful for people to say that they don't really want to hear nothing from you. People just don't want to hear nothing from you. And who caused that? Whose fault it is that basically people don't want to hear nothing from you? The people who are inviting you guys to go on programs and to come to a DC meeting, them create that. They created that. Your legacies and what you have done for this country will be written and it will be good. And people will celebrate it. But right now, in this climate, this political climate, nobody want to hear nothing from you. On behalf of these traitors, these Judases. Yeah. Nobody want to hear from about on their behalf. Alright? So that is that. Thank you for listening to me rant. God bless you all. Stay safe, everybody, and keep the children safe.